Hey everyone, Tyler here at The Movie Beat. Welcome back to another video. In this one, we're going to be looking at the recently released Blu-ray for the 2019 Korean film, The Battle: Roar to Victory. Directed by Won Shin-yun, who also made Memoir of a Murderer, and I believe he made the film The Suspect. So if you've seen those films, maybe you kind of can get a sense for a little bit of the style, perhaps, of this director's work. But this movie is kind of interesting. I actually just caught it on Netflix here in Korea. Basically, it's about a very intense and dramatic true story about these Korean independence fighters in Manchuria in the year about 1919, 1920, as they organized to fight off the Japanese imperial forces. And this story in particular is about a legendary battle called Bongho-dong, which is the Korean title of the film, Bongho-dong Battle. So this battle in particular, the independence fighters really used the topography of the land to outsmart and overwhelm the ruthless Japanese soldiers. And this independence militia is basically made up of a bunch of like former hunters and farmers. You know, it's not what you would think of when you think of like an army battle type movie. So they're using kind of makeshift weapons at times, swords and things like that. I do think that the Japanese forces outlawed the use of guns from the hunters and things like that. So they do have to get a little bit of inventive, but they do have some guns. There's like a sniper on their team. But this film stars actors Yoo Hae-jin, Ryu Jun-yeol, and Jo Woo-jin. And if you guys know Yoo Hae-jin, he's in a lot of comedic movies. Don't expect any comedy from him in this one. He's pretty serious. He's definitely capable of doing that kind of a role, but, you know, I like his funny side a little bit more. The movie looks really good. I thought they really did a great job of bringing the environment to life, which they're out pretty much in the wild for most of the movie. And that environment is indeed a major feature of the movie, so I liked how it almost became a character in of itself. So they did a really awesome job with the look of this movie. But overall, I think the movie The Battle: Roar to Victory is trying really hard to be like a Korean Braveheart. But the movie comes across really calculated in its approach. So that makes it really hard to get caught up in the story, with it feeling so manufactured, almost every beat of the movie. Also, it's going to come down to personal taste, but it's a big turnoff for me when there's a movie of great historical significance that gets drowned out by a lot of the cartoonish, caricature, almost just over-the-top portrayals of the enemy here, which is usually the Japanese imperial forces. So, for example, there's a scene in this movie near the beginning where one of the sort of lead, higher-ranking Japanese soldiers has these tigers captured. One of them looks dead, and he's just gutting it on this table, and that kind of wakes up, and he just maniacally starts stabbing it in the neck, where blood splashing everywhere. It looks really cool, but it's like, oh, okay, we get it. You know, this is unnecessary in how they're showing these guys. And obviously, the tiger is sort of symbolic of the Korean spirit. The national team is the tigers, and you know, when I ask people about, you know, are there tigers here, and they're like, no, the Japanese killed them all. Like, very serious. So it's kind of playing into that, but it's a little bit too in your face. And I didn't like how savagely cartoonish that the enemy was. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's very well noted the atrocities that the Japanese committed, but I personally don't like that cartoonish approach. And if you've seen maybe the Battleship Island, I think this film sort of takes it one step further. So if this was an entirely fictitious movie, I might have been a little bit more uncomfortable with some of the characterizations, but as a historical drama of one of the, you know, an epic true battle, if you guys go on Wiki and look about the real story of this thing, it was just awesome. And so I feel like this was a bit of a missed opportunity in that sense. But I am curious to hear what you guys think of the battle, if you do pick up this Blu-ray or if you've watched it somewhere. But the most important part about this video is the Blu-ray. So let's take a look at it. Released by the Korean publisher INJOINGAN, which is about a medium level, I'd say, publisher here. Not the best, not the worst, but they do bring out a lot of Korean films, which we really appreciate if you're fans of Korean film. They brought out The Wailing, which was just awesome, and they knocked it out of the park with that one. There was a little mistake on the slipcover with some of the English spelling, but that's a minor complaint, probably more of a financial problem for them. But this is it's a limited edition, kind of the first release, so it's not maybe numbered, but after this sells out, they will sell it without the goodies. So look at this outbox. Initially, it's not grabbing me. It does sort of give off the vibe of old-fashioned, kind of historical, like a journal or something, but it's just kind of too simple for me. I did look at a lot of the promotional material and the posters that were available for this film, and it does look like they didn't have a lot to work with. There was one poster in particular that I thought they could have used, but it's actually kind of a spoiler if you've seen it, so kind of good that they didn't go with it. And they did save the main poster for the jacket, which is pretty nice, like all the crew there on front. Again, sort of keeping with this sort of historical vibe, black and white. But the main feature of this release is a photo book, 100 pages, and the preview here, it looks like it could be all in color. Don't quote me on that, but it could be all in color. So that is awesome, and you probably noticed from that outbox that it does look so thick. Well, this is probably the reason, this book. So could be a heavy package if you guys order it. A single disc only though. However, they do have some special features on there that you might want to take note of. One new thing that I think was not on the DVD was the commentary that they've added. And it's going to be director and actor's commentary, no English subtitles. So if you guys don't speak Korean, that's not going to be very helpful. There is a 40-minute making of, and this movie has a lot of cool environments that they're filming in. So this could be an interesting thing to watch, especially if you like the movie a lot. Little production featurette, about 4 minutes or so, but that's just a little added thing. I think that 40-minute making of is really the main bonus feature, and then they've got the trailer, of course. So that's it for this one. I personally am not going to pick it up just because I wasn't a big fan of the movie, and I can get it on Netflix here. But I am very curious to hear if anyone does pick this up and what your thoughts are on the movie. So please let me know in the comments below. And sorry that this video is a little bit late. This film actually just released about 3 days ago. So I do think it is still available on most places that sell Korean DVDs and Blu-ray. So you can pick it up probably wherever. So let me know. Thanks again, everybody. If you guys like these Blu-ray videos, give it a like, and we'll keep making them. So until next time, I'm Tyler at The Movie Beat. Keep watching movies.